So, this is going to be episode 2 of The Funny Little Thing. In unconventional this time, we got two people with me this time. Speak yourselves.
Hello. How are
Hello there.
you? Hmm.
This is the funny Kringle and the funny Kongor.
Hey,
Indeed.
I'm from the Congo.
Now, Connor has no idea what Godzilla is.
I've seen like two monsters from it, and
He
one of them
thinks
is Godzilla.
he thinks it's real. I turned it on. I said it was the news, and he ran away scared.
It's like those people in the movie theater when the train was coming at them.
When a man shot a blank gun at the screen and they all fell over because they were scared. And Chris, if I'm correct, you know a bit about Godzilla, right?
I've seen a good amount. Like I've even gone back and watched some of the old movies.
Okay, cool. So you'll actually be able to help me.
Yes.
You will be
Some
able to
of the movies.
assist.
Like the one that
So
had all of them, I remember.
okay, yeah, this doesn't include all of them, but what we're doing, Connor doesn't know pretty much any of the monsters of Godzilla, so I'm gonna run him through most of them. We're not every single one. I think I skipped Batra. But the majority, and give him some rundown on the movies and stuff.
Now, just as a preface, I know enough about Godzilla to know that in my very limited view of the franchise, I know that King Ghidorah is cool and that all the Godzillas look the same, so hopefully my mind can be changed.
Well, I think you'll see a lot of new horizons on this.
Yeah.
So yeah, just starting out, Godzilla. He's in all the movies. I won't
Yeah,
go
there.
over. Oh, and by the way, if you have any questions about the monsters, please ask because I probably won't remember everything despite having notes.
Alright.
Always a good sign.
But there's a pretty good amount of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that him? Is that he who must not be named?
That is Mr. Gorilla Whale himself.
Oh wow.
I won't go into too much on each individual one. I'll highlight a few times where he looks different. But this is
Okay.
him in the original, and
He's got
basically
he's got like Land Before Time ears.
he do, he does have really notable ears.
Those are like Peter Griffin's ears.
Don't I don't like that. I don't actually like looking at his ears. I don't like thinking about that he has them.
So is this a cherished, beloved design?
People like him. He's kind of lumpy.
Huh.
This is the only one I got a figure on actually. Usually I don't have many of them, but I'll point out a few.
Okay.
The ears kind of come and go, honestly. Some of the later ones he barely has them.
Gotchas.
And the only one that I'll highlight in particular here is this guy. So you should be able to see me move through these,
Okay.
correct?
Now it's scrolling through. Oh,
Okay,
look at his
good.
goofy eyes.
Yeah, he's like, "Urgh."
He's kind of got the traditional Asian lion or tiger snout.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's got like a bit of a feline-ish snout.
I don't have him in this, and you're gonna hear the name of this movie a lot.
Yeah?
But the Final Wars design, he was really cat-like. He's got pointier ears in that one.
Okay.
I think Final Wars was the last movie I saw.
Final Wars is basically the last one of the classic era, and it will be brought up numerous times.
Is that a fan favorite?
You'll see why.
Okay.
So the only one that I'm going to bring up specifically of designs is this boy right here,
Yeah, I know about this one.
Everybody knows Shin Godzilla.
Shin Goji. He's something else. The grossness.
Yeah, but this one was written by that talentless hack who directed nothing good before, right?
He did no animes that have ever existed,
Especially not any good ones.
especially not any ones that tortured you.
Ugh.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
always let me bring up the notes because
This shot looks really scary.
Yeah. And I would say this is probably one of the best movies, partially because it's completely standalone. And in fact, it lets me remind me of something that's kind of interesting about Godzilla. Every single Japanese Godzilla movie is the first movie is canon to it, except this one.
Okay.
Because Godzilla actually dies at the end of the first Godzilla movie. There's something called an oxygen destroyer that kills him and turns him into bones.
Okay.
That's how far they need to go to stop him.
Yeah. And the guy who invented it killed himself because he was like, I don't want this falling in bad hands because it's an allegory for nuclear bombs. You wouldn't expect it, but the movie starring this guy is really dark and depressing and scary.
Yeah, I mean, it is Japanese.
And it's like it's from like I think it's 50s. It's
Yeah,
real
so
old.
because I know enough to know that like Godzilla is all about the effects of nuclear devastation.
Yeah. And that's why they made Shin, because Japan got into a bit of a nuclear issue again I forget when that was.
Because that one was more of like an accident.
Yeah.
That was like a power plant going up.
But it was like a commentary that, hey, Japanese government, you did a crappy job fixing
Handling
this.
it. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, that's Shin.
Yeah,
But
he's cool. I like how the red really stands out.
Yeah, the blood. There's a deleted scene actually where rather than shooting atomic breath, he like tries to shoot something out of his mouth and just blood pours out.
Ew.
It was real scary.
There was actually a lot of scenes with his blood involved.
His blood starts pouring out of his gills at one point too.
It's because he's supposed to be all gross and messy.
He's supposed to have cancer.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
So on the sort of more lighthearted note, we're going to get into the proper kaijus themselves, starting with the best boy, Anguirus.
Aw.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Look at that little guy.
This guy, he is the first monster that Godzilla ever fought. Way back in... I forget what it's called. It's Godzilla Raids Again, I think.
Okay.
But ever since then, he's basically been Godzilla's best friend. Like,
Rivals turned allies?
Yeah, well, it wasn't much of a rivalry, honestly. He just kind of got his ass kicked for most of it.
Gotcha.
But pretty much ever since, he has been just an all-around swell guy. There's one bit later where people realize, like, oh shoot, that's not Godzilla, when he starts attacking his Anguirus because they're best buddies.
Yeah.
There's even one... Go ahead.
I like that he looks like a kid trying to draw his first dinosaur, but he's not quite sure which one to draw.
Yeah, he's they just said, he's an Ankylosaurus that became this. Don't worry about it. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, in one of the later ones, they do team up attacks. He swings them like a mace. It's great.
Oh, the comics are great.
And go ahead.
This is actually really well drawn too.
Oh, the Rulers of Earth comic is probably the best Godzilla thing.
Really?
Yeah, Chris, you've read it, right?
I've read a bit, yes.
It just has everyone. It has all the boys, and they do all the cool things.
Okay.
If you want one big condensed bit of Godzilla, read the comic series that entails this. And yeah, there's one of the later ones, or I guess, okay, we're going to talk about the Showa era is what this first batch is called.
Okay.
And they get goofy. So you can see by this guy. One of the ones they like talk, but they talk and then they play their roars and then they mess with the audio on the roar, and it's really weird. But Godzilla's all, there's something funny going on. And then Anguirus goes, what do you want? And he's really silly. Also, I love how he's kneeling because it's a guy.
Yeah.
He's not actually quadrupedal. He just walks around because he's a guy.
It's just a man.
Yeah. His head
that
is
was-
like, oh, you can't see. I don't even know if you can see my mouse. His head's like right here. You can't see a
Yeah.
dang old thing.
I love how goofy his big eyes are.
I know. It's so good. It's like a cartoon character. And so in continuing with what you're gonna hear a number of times, this is how he looks in Final Wars.
Oh, that looks different. His eyes are a lot smaller.
He gets chunky.
Yeah, and he's fat.
He gets kind of chunky.
He had a very nice meal. I don't know.
He
if
does
we
the
ate.
thing. He does the impossible thing where he jumps up and rolls into a ball, and somehow his shell covers his whole body at that point.
Yeah, that's the best.
He Sonic the
Also-
Hedgehog's it.
He changed his color scheme too. I kind of like the other one.
Yeah.
He's more brown.
Yeah. There's a lot of coloring inconsistencies throughout this. I'm not gonna go over each one.
Yeah.
I think the only thing consistent in color is Godzilla.
Nah, he's green in one of the movies when he's like black in most of them.
All right.
He's like a mossy stone.
I don't know, he's kind of a straight green. He's got like big purple spines.
Hmm.
I forget if I get a picture of him in there. But that's Anguirus. He shows up. He mainly only shows up in the Showa era, but everyone loves him.
So he's like an OG, but he hasn't been back for a while.
Yeah. I mean, except for Final Wars.
Okay.
But he's in like a lot of the Showa movies, so.
Gotcha.
And in case you can't tell, we're going in chronological order.
Yeah.
So to go next would be Godzilla vs. Kong.
But that isn't out in theaters until March 31st.
You're exactly right.
Buy tickets now.
Buy tickets now, or stream, or whatever the Earth makes you do.
Yeah, buy that now. Get a T-shirt.
Buy the SH Monstars figures for $400.
What a derpy Kong is in that picture.
He looks like this throughout the whole movie. That's actually all I'm gonna say about it.
That's a Bigfoot costume. That's not real.
It really is. That's his face in the whole thing. Godzilla looks like the Cookie Monster. It's really silly.
His lips look so flat. That's so dumb.
He gets like thrown around throughout the whole thing too. They're just like clobbering on everything. It's goofy. Yeah,
He's a big monkey.
he big monkey. That's all there's to say about that.
Okay. That's the whole movie.
Yeah,
King
that's
Kong got his
big
one.
monkey.
He got his one.
So next up is the real important one. You got Mothra.
Aw.
I'm sure you know Mothra. Yeah.
Yeah. Moths are cute.
She's I'm not sure if you know this. Mothra starred in her own movie first, actually.
Yeah, I believe that.
And a lot of the Godzilla monsters starred in their own movies, kind of. Because at the time, it was just, hey, we made a bunch of money for Godzilla. Just make 1 billion of them. That's exactly, they slammed the desk with joy.
Yeah.
So they were able to make quite a lot of these. And so, actually, Mothra, as a bit of a fun fact, after she was in Godzilla movies, she then went back to being in her own movies again.
Hmm.
They
The
get
first movie poster made her look a lot more evil than she actually is.
yeah, she's a super good guy
That
and cute.
poster makes her look like a fly.
Yeah, it does.
Because of the
but-
big gross tongue.
Yeah, in some parts of the world, when Godzilla fights Mothra, they call her Godzilla versus the Thing. Because
That's a different movie entirely.
yeah, it really is. And the Mothra movies get kind of wacky, as you can tell.
That looks like Power Rangers.
It was made during the time when Tokusatsu was getting big.
I'm sorry, Super Sentai.
Yeah, Sentai and Kamen Riders and stuff. That's basically what Godzilla is, honestly.
Yeah, kinda.
Minus the actual Rangers, just focused on the big fights.
Yeah.
I
And I-
kind of like how different Mothra is from actual mods with the big head and huge eyes.
Yeah, it's got that more like a
Big-
bumblebee kind of.
Big bulbous head because the creator didn't know what moths look like.
And they couldn't make something skinny because it would break.
Yeah. I mean, moths are usually that thick, like the big ones are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just their heads are smaller.
Yeah, I figure you. I know you like the insectoid ones.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure you know the general idea of Mothra, how she's like a goody the whole time.
Yeah.
She's a friend to everyone. And I believe this is her in Final Wars again. I think this is. I could be wrong.
Okay.
And she basically looks the same. Like you can see, this is her, and then like throughout all these, she looks mostly the same.
Yeah.
Not really much you can really change about her design other than that
Well.
thing before, the Robo Mothra.
And also the King of the Monsters design,
All right.
Huh.
where
Forgot
she
about that.
gets real spiky.
I actually do like the design on the wings there.
Yeah, they're got the fake eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very very curvy in this movie as well. It inspired a lot of artwork.
Don't say any more.
Look, all I'm saying is best ship. This is the best ship. I don't care. It's good.
Yeah.
It is.
Mothra's a good girl.
Yeah.
Next up is another real important one. They get a lot of the important ones
Yeah.
right out the way. We get good old Rodin, who I cannot find a good picture of for the life of me.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about this one.
He's a big pterodactyl, which you can barely see in this picture.
Yeah. He's got a flat mouth.
Where do you think his head is in that first image? Where do you think the guy's head is?
Probably like right here. This guy cannot see.
No, absolutely not.
He is hot and sweaty and miserable right now.
Oh yeah. That guy has asthma.
And once again, he starred in his own movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
There was actually two of them, but one of them died. It was sad.
And then the other one went on to fight Godzilla.
Yeah, they went on to hang out with Godzilla all the time. And I like this poster because it looks like everybody's like jizzing to him, and he's just in the middle, like he's just like, oh.
And he's kind of off center.
Yeah,
He's a bit to the side.
yeah.
I don't know what to make of all this.
And this guy's just.
They just turned the camera on. He didn't know what pose to do.
Oh, it's good. He looks silly in this one.
It's because his face is real long, and it looks like he's looking to the side.
He looks like Big Bird.
A little bit. Those legs don't work.
They
Big
don't.
Bird's Big Bird's brother.
It's really hard to get good pictures of these because they're made in like the early part of the century, so it's hard to get it.
Yeah, these movies are from like 1842, right?
Yeah, they were made with rocks and stones.
Early Mesopotamian filmmaking.
This is just an actual dinosaur. This is what they look like.
It's a documentary.
But I would describe Rodin as like the Falco of Godzilla.
Okay.
He's like an asshole, but he helps out most of the time. Like when him and Godzilla met, they started beating each other up immediately. But then Mothra starts like squirting him with silk, and then when Godzilla gets all over him, Rodin starts laughing at him. But then she hits him with it, and Godzilla starts laughing at him.
It's so dumb.
So that describes their relationship pretty well.
You gotta help a brother out when he gets squirted on.
He looks much better in later ones. He comes back a lot. He's been in like every one.
Yeah, that one looks fine.
I believe this is technically Fire Rodan because he comes from a volcano.
Okay. I imagine he breathes fire too.
More just when he flies over something, like a big heat wave just destroys everything.
Gotcha.
Probably would have been too difficult to make it actually breathe fire.
Yeah. Oh, they just use the same stuff as Godzilla. I think Fire Rodan does a little bit. Sorry, I gotta look at all my friggin' notes because there's so many of these dang things.
Yeah.
This is how he looks in Final Wars. He's showing his dick off in front of the moon to the whole world.
He's exposing himself.
He really looks like a Power Rangers character in this one.
He really does. Super Sentai.
Oh, I'm sorry. And yeah, he flies around. I think in this one, Godzilla just kind of kicks everybody's ass. But he
That's supposed to be the plot of
specifically,
that movie.
yeah, he specifically doesn't kill Anguirus and Rodan here because they're his buddies.
Okay.
They're his palaronis. And then the best design is his King of the Monster design.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
It's so good. It's got the fiery magma bits all over him.
No, that's not a controversial opinion, is it?
Nah.
Okay.
I think
like
everybody loves this one.
I like his beady eyes.
Yeah, the eyes are really, really good. And he's kind of an asshole in this movie, but by the end of it, Godzilla's like, "You see what happens?" And he's like, "I see what happens."
I really like the toothy beak.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
because it makes him still a pterodactyl, but it makes him look monstery more.
Makes him scary.
Yeah. Okay, so in the same movie that Rodan was introduced, they had to team up to fight something.
Uh-oh.
So I'm guessing you can put together who they had to team up to fight. Because here comes the man, the myth, the legend, all three of those, King Ghidorah.
Yeah, there he is.
He's awesome.
I like his stiff legs.
Gotta fly somehow.
I really like King Ghidorah. He looks cool.
Big, meaty, juicy thighs.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he is, once again, his design really does not change much.
Why would you change perfection?
He looks like Ghidorah the whole time. And once again, he shows up a lot because they can just keep reusing him, and he was super
he's
popular.
Like the main evil guy, right?
He's like the main Godzilla rival.
Because I'm trying to think of how many times he shows up in the show. It's like 5 or 6, I think.
How many films are there of that?
A lot, like 10, I think. So he's like probably in half. And I will say he pretty much, it's like always has to have 2 people fighting him.
Oh, so Godzilla alone is not powerful enough to beat him.
Generally, no. The thing is, he's always double teamed, so it tends to get his ass kicked a lot. But it's just like you get the idea, like, nah, he would kick everybody's ass if it was 1-on-1. And I probably should have put this for a later one, but we do got Mecha King Ghidorah for a later section. Good. Interesting, he's not like super evil in this one.
Really?
He's more just, I don't have pictures of them, and I probably shouldn't go through the plot of this movie because it would take 6 hours. But he's kind of an unwilling participant that just gets roped into the whole thing.
Okay.
And Godzilla blows one of his heads off, so they replace him with a cool robot. And they gotta do like a big... This is like the big 1v1 movie. It's like the rival fight.
Gotcha.
a lot of people consider this one the best one, and this is a much later one. I'm kind of just going through all of his designs.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Mecha. He's kind of more cyborg King Ghidorah, but still,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool.
His wings are really nice.
Yeah. I forget some of his. He's got like a bunch of like he shoots stuff out of his everything and like drills holes into Godzilla's forehead and stuff.
Full armor Ghidorah.
Yeah, that's a good. It's a good way to call him that.
If I'm correct, most of the time when it's just like him wiggling his heads around when he fires his beams.
They get him on the piano wires and wiggle him around, and they animate beams afterwards. It's good. And then on the complete flip side, this Ghidorah is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it looks good.
This is from let me look up my notes for this movie. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack,
Okay.
or GMK. And in this movie, he's a good guy actually.
Really?
He's canonically he is a young Orochi who is one of the defenders of the world.
Huh.
And Godzilla is the manifestation of all the dead soldiers of World War II.
All
Alright,
of them?
Isn't this like the
Oh,
second, Godzilla movie?
what was that?
Isn't that like the second Godzilla?
Actually, I think he is. Yeah, he's a second Godzilla in this one too. But he's. It's basically like these guys all gotta protect the world from Godzilla because Godzilla's super pissed.
Okay.
And so Ghidorah is actually smaller than Godzilla in this one.
Just because
He's like the
Godzilla
underdog.
is so fed with all the souls of crying soldiers.
Yeah, pretty much. This is also considered one of the better ones.
Okay.
Pretty much any time it's like, okay, Ghidorah is being introduced, it's one of the better ones.
Ghidorah just makes everything better.
He really does. Now I'll also say probably my favorite practical design is not actually from a Godzilla movie. Because Ghidorah actually shows up a lot in the Mothra movies as well.
Okay.
And I really dig this one.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Looks like
This
he's
is, I believe,
looks like he's about to dance.
this is called Cretaceous Ghidorah. I think it's like an ancestor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks a bit more like the textures on it are more dinosaur-y.
Mm-hmm. You can tell they really started getting like suit designs down real good.
Yeah, because that's a suit. Wow.
Yeah, it's all practical.
For a second, I thought that was like a PS2 game.
Yeah, because the shine on him, it looks like a render that you would like select.
The shine and the chest looks really boxy.
Yeah, how it's got like a point at his center.
Uh-huh.
Because they can't render in the circles well enough.
Yeah. But yeah, that looks really nice.
I really like him. And I think it's also like because it's a Mothra movie, they could experiment with the designs more.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they didn't have marketing Joe over their back. And then the actual best design is that King of the Monsters goodness.
Yeah. He's so huge.
He's huge. Like he towers over Godzilla.
That's awesome.
It's so good.
I love how Godzilla's standing in that.
He does like a sumo stomp in this scene. Where he's just like, let's go.
Looks like he's walking to the store.
Put a little grocery bag right there, and he's like, ah, crap.
Just put a cane.
He's
Old man Godzilla.
if you turn him around, it literally looks like Virgin Godzilla Chad
I
Ghidorah.
thought you were gonna say Virgil Godzilla. Then again, same thing.
Yeah. Well, Ghidorah's more the Virgil in this one.
Yeah, yeah. But Virgil's lame, so.
Yeah, Ghidorah is cooler than Virgil. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, don't like each of the heads have a name?
Yes. It's Ichi, San, and Kevin. That's real.
That's real?
Yeah.
That's canon?
It's because in this one they wanted to give each head a bit more personality. So like this one is the leader. He's the one that's in charge. This one's really sadistic, and this one's much more curious.
Okay.
And so when he first shows up, this one starts like sniffing the humans, like licking them and stuff. And then the center head literally grabs him by the horn and like yells at him, and then just blasts the humans. And there's like a few times where this one's kind of being silly, like he's looking somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's real good.
That sounds fun.
It was a really good idea.
Meme. It's like one of the more popular like Godzilla memes.
Yeah. I don't have it here, but there's the one meme image that gets used a lot of like serious Ghidorah head, and then this was looking at the goofy head.
Yeah.
That's what that's based on, is that this guy, he acts kind of silly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, King of the Monsters does Ghidorah super justice.
I'm glad to hear that. I kind of want to watch that one.
We can definitely do a movie night of watching this one and maybe even Kong as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing good things about that one, and people complain about this one that there's people talking, and we can just fast forward past those parts.
Exactly.
It's just
Comes into play when you're watching Godzilla.
As a heads up, pretty much every single movie, there's two ways to watch it. There's watching it normal, and then there's fast forward until the monsters start punching each other.
Because let me just say, I've only seen one Godzilla movie in my life, and it was the 2014 one.
And he's not in that one a huge amount.
And that, I hated it. If I hadn't been told Godzilla was in it, I wouldn't have believed it was a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that's how a lot of them be. That's actually not even the worst one in that regard.
I can't even tell what the monster was. I could just see orange in the darkness.
Oh, I didn't put the Mutos in here, yeah.
I hated it.
Well, I can definitely say that King of the Monsters fixes a lot of that. And from what I hear, Kong is like much, much better with that as well.
I saw an ad on the TV in the break room for Godzilla vs. Kong, and I just saw King Kong just punch Godzilla in the mouth, and I laughed really hard. It's just a big dumb monkey just punching a dinosaur.
It's that he crawls up onto the thing to get him, and immediately is just punched in the face.
It'll be a good time when that comes out.
Oh yeah. Buy now.
It is. It's out in like Australia or something, and I'm thinking of like finding a method to watch it so that I can just play Monster Hunter, then watch Godzilla, then play Monster Hunter again. Just because I want to be fully immersed in giant lizards and big angry apes. That's what I want.
And then play Smash, Donkey Kong vs. Bowser.
Yeah. On the Earthbound stage.
Yeah.
There you go.
It'll be great.
It's the best
So people
idea.
love Ghidorah so much that they just went to space and did it all again.
That's a good idea.
It's how a lot of them went. It was just, we're doing them again. It's fight Ghidorah.
Yeah. It'd be easier to make a set on space.
Yeah, it's actually the only Godzilla battle that takes place off of Earth.
Really?
Yep, and the whole thing.
I wonder why.
Except in that one manga where he was a woman from another planet and he fought a big titty monster in like our atmosphere.
Which one?
We don't talk about that. Don't worry about it.
Who was the woman?
Godzilla.
Okay.
What was
the name?
She,
of
I
it?
guess. It's called Godzilla the comic, and like half of Godzilla's body just falls off, and it turns out it's turned into a big rocket jet and just flies into space.
Okay. Huh.
Something else, dude. I'm not going into that. But we do got a bonus round here.
This is what
We're
I've been
gonna take-
asking for since episode 1.
We're going to take a quick look at some Godzilla posters. Not the good ones.
Look at him.
He's scared. He's a big mole thing,
Look at him.
and he's scared.
He's like melting his teeth with his own breath.
He's-
Open your mouth more.
he genuinely looks like, what's happening?
His arms are too short.
They're so short. This isn't even an arm. This is just a hand
It's a
coming out of
wrist.
his back. That's something
And
else.
his eyebrows.
He's got a sparkle in his eyes. He's an anime character. And this movie doesn't take place in New York, by the way. So this next one, I'm gonna want you to point out. I want you to figure out what's wrong with this one.
Okay. Huh.
You figured it out? Where's Frankenstein?
Uh-huh.
Do you see it? So in Germany is full of those Frankenstein stands, you dig?
Yeah.
They're all about that Frankenstein. So every single Godzilla movie that was localized there, they just said that Frankenstein made all the monsters. They just said it's Frankenstein. Shut up.
I thought you were going that they just called Godzilla Frankenstein, but no,
They do that too sometimes.
That's even dumber.
It's great. And then there's this.
Why is it terrible? Why is
he shoots Wi-Fi?
Why is he spitting out Wi-Fi? And why is there a bug doing a handstand next to him?
This bug has nothing to do with the film. I don't know what it is.
It's just doing a cartwheel.
It's just doing a cartwheel on his tail? On something in front of him?
Also, why do his legs go on forever?
I don't know. Is he like kneeling to God or something?
He's spitting Wi-Fi at the Lord.
And he's just got creepy long Bayonetta legs? And this all means nothing. I don't know. Giant Lobster.
I actually really like him.
He's the most iconic Godzilla monster. He's a big lobster.
Is he actually iconic?
Not really.
Okay, because I actually really do like giant lobsters. They're cool.
He's cool. He's from this movie.
From Frankenstein.
Frankenstein made him.
Frankenstein was famous for experimenting on lobsters.
Exactly. This movie was actually written to be a King Kong movie, but then they lost the rights to him, so they just put Godzilla in instead.
Because they did have the rights to that.
They super did. Also, here he is in Final Wars.
That looks really good.
He does.
I really like it.
And so, but then he's part of that. But the real star of this movie, Big Bird.
That's just a bird.
It was Big Bird.
With an ugly face.
He has the worst fight scene in Godzilla history.
Tell me what he does.
Ah! The camera just has a big old seizure the whole time. And for some reason, they reused this stock footage like 3 times.
Oh my god.
In different movies. They'll just be walking around and go, oh my god, a giant bird, and they'll just replay this fight scene and then go back to the movie.
What if that fight scene was in the Kong vs. Godzilla?
I would love it. Like, they just cut to it. You'll also notice what Godzilla looks like now.
Yeah, I don't like him.
He is the Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. His mouth looks so weird.
And the big eyes, the big googly eyes.
The big eyes and the like weird round grandpa lips.
But don't you worry. Now we're getting into probably the biggest influence on Godzilla as a whole. It is the most important character. I guarantee. I mean, he should have his own movie. Honestly, the true successor to Godzilla. He looks retarded. That's Godzilla's son.
I hope he hates his son.
He like beats him throughout the movie.
That good. He looks like he deserves it.
Don't worry, he gets worse.
I would help him beat his son.
He is found being like attacked by giant insects. Godzilla like blows him up and then leaves. It's so really. This movie's weird.
Why does he look so terrible?
I don't know. Yeah. It takes a second every time. And what makes me go ahead.
That image that we shared together of the Fat Albert character whose neck is like part of his lips. I want you to put that next to that.
Okay. That'll be some of the editing.
Okay.
And what genuinely makes me mad, here he is in Final Wars.
That looks horrible, but still looks better.
It does. But what makes me genuinely mad is that they brought him in for Final Wars when this guy exists.
That's a much better design.
This is Little Godzilla. He's from the other series. He's actually adorable.
Yeah. And that looks like a design someone would be proud of making.
Not cursed. And you know what's even better? Little Godzilla here has a character arc throughout numerous movies.
Oh my god.
He starts off as like a helpless baby, but slowly like starts learning.
Huh.
And I don't have a picture of him, but by the end of this series, he looks like Godzilla, but like tinier with less spikes.
Okay, so for scale, how big is this guy compared to a human?
Still bigger than a house.
Okay.
Like he comes up to like Godzilla's knee, so like bigger than like a standard big building.
Okay, gotcha.
Like a person would be like right around here.
Oh jeez.
And this is actually really sweet how him and his papa start getting together.
I want both of his sons to be in the same room, and Godzilla ignores the ugly one.
And goes to his better one.
Just has a better son.
I like this one more. And he got the cat ears work really well on him too.
Yeah. And the little fangs that come down.
And so to make you feel even better, this guy is terrorized by big old manti.
Oh, I love him.
What are these guys called? Oh, by the way, the crappy son is called Manila, and the other one's Mini Godzilla or Godzilla Jr. What are these guys called?
Even they liked the other one better.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
These are Kamacaris. There's a whole bunch of them.
That's a good name.
Generally, they're kind of the jobbers of Monster Island.
Well, of course.
Because they have a billion of them, so they blow them up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be happy to know they're in Final Wars.
Oh, that's a good redesign.
Yep, crappy blurry picture, but that's all I could find.
I kind of miss the mouth spikes, but...
Yeah. They show up a lot, just kind of as background dudes.
Yeah.
They show up just to be beaten up.
Yeah, and because especially then they get outpaced by their apex, a big old spider.
Oh, he's great.
This is Kumonga.
Oh, that thing's great.
He's real big. He's actually pretty tough. He like messes up Godzilla pretty good.
So this is a named character, not a turbo jobber?
No, yeah, he's tough. Like here he is in Final Wars, by the way.
That looks okay.
Basically the same exact design.
I mean, that one looks way dirtier and messier.
Yeah, I mean I think he was CG in Final Wars.
That looks like CG.
Yeah. But he actually like kind of captures Godzilla in his web and like gets him down pretty good.
Yeah. That just looks
It's
really nice.
yeah. He I think that what kind of happens is like Godzilla and his son are able to breathe fire and then light his web on fire and beat him, but he cameos a lot.
Okay.
And I guess he turns good later, or another one turns good, because we're gonna get into what's gonna make my job really difficult. Because I'm just gonna show you the poster, and you're gonna go, "Oh, destroy all monsters."
Huh.
A lot of monsters in this one.
Yeah.
This is like the big final, all the warriors. This is Avengers before the Avengers.
Yeah, yeah. This is like Smash Bros. If it was cool.
Pretty much. So pretty much all of these guys that I haven't explained had their own movies.
Okay. So this is a cinematic universe.
Yes, actually. And as you can see, Kumonga is back hanging out.
Yeah. Is that Godzilla's ugly son
Unfortunately.
leading the pack?
You can see
I'm gonna tell you something.
You can actually see him on the poster.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
So I'm gonna kind of go through a lightning round on these, because again, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Starting out with your boy Gorosaurus.
He's a T-Rex he's a T-Rex that stands up real good and has a long tail.
Yep. He was actually in the King Kong movie that Toho made. He was the dinosaur that he fought.
Okay.
So you can kind of consider him an evolution of the T-Rex that Kong fights in all the movies.
I haven't seen a Kong movie.
Kong always fights T-Rexes. And this is kind of the final version of that.
Ah.
And he does a big drop kick, and he's cool.
I want to see a T-Rex do a drop kick.
He like gets on his tail like a kangaroo and does a big old kick.
That's dumb.
I'm about to say, have you seen Godzilla do a drop kick?
Yeah,
I should have gotten a GIF on that one.
We've all seen it.
Okay, good.
Put it up on screen.
I will. Okay. He actually like kicks Ghidorah right in the small of his back and knocks him over, and it looks like the guy actually got hurt, like the guy in the suit.
You probably did.
I love that in movies.
He like falls down like really realistically.
he hits his knee on a table on the way down.
Basically. All right. So next up is Manda, who I really like.
Oh, he's great.
Manda's really underrated. He was again in his own movie. Big Chinese dragon looking dude.
Yeah, yeah. Noodle dragons.
And I think the creators agreed with me that he's really underrated because he shows up in Final Wars.
Oh, that looks really nice.
It's really cool. Whenever they do him in a modern design, it's really, really cool.
How modern is this? When did this come out?
Like 2004 or something.
Okay.
4 or 5, like early 2000s.
It looks older than that.
They still use practical effects throughout it.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess
There's
like
only-
during that time the I don't want to say cheapness, but it was part of the charm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like this is just a model.
Yeah.
He gets frozen and exploded. So now for your boy Varan.
That's just a leftover suit design for Godzilla.
I like this poster.
Oh Lord, he's coming.
He just has a really powerful vibes about him.
He's falling with style.
I love him because they just say shut up, he can fly. He's got a little bit of wing membrane right there.
He's got even less there than it does on the poster.
I know. He just flies around, just chilling.
He just does it because it's cool.
I don't know why I really like him.
Also that he's a bright yellowish gold too.
Yeah.
It's just big and dumb and stupid.
You can just see him in the background here, just being.
I was curious what that was.
Just existing.
He looks like a flea.
Oh yeah, and I'll mention real quick, Mothra dies in like every single movie that she's in, so half of the movie she's a larva.
That makes sense.
And she's more effective as a larva every single time.
Is she one of the moths that, like, when she metamorphosizes, she doesn't even have a mouth anymore?
It just will die.
It just dies like 2 minutes later.
Just the worst choice on evolution.
It's just like the least optimal path you could take.
She wishes, because it's always much more painful. It's
Yeah.
always a huge explosion. All right, now for the best boy, Baragon.
Aw.
Look at him.
I'm gonna sell you here.
He's-
I'm gonna sell you on Baragon so hard in one image.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's super good.
He's so good.
Tell me
Now you-
he does like a bold charge and then covers his eyes so he doesn't get sprayed with blood.
I think he does do that in one of the movies.
That's exactly what he's made for.
He mainly like burrows and stuff, like he digs around.
Oh, that makes sense.
And are you ready for for it all to come back together?
Yeah.
This guy fought Frankenstein. They made a movie where Frankenstein just grew big and he fought this guy.
And this was still a German movie?
No, it was Japanese.
Oh, so the Japanese acknowledged the Frankenstein weirdness?
Originally, King Kong versus Godzilla was gonna be Frankenstein versus Godzilla.
Huh.
Yeah.
Imagine how different
when
things
you
would
look at
be if he
Godzilla,
did
there's a weird amount of Frankenstein splashed in there. And additionally, on Baragon, he is the first kaiju ever played by a woman
Whoa.
because he real tiny.
Okay.
And there's one scene that is behind the scenes. It's the best thing ever. They needed to record Baragon roaring a few times, so they had her do the motion, and every single time she goes, "Rawr, rawr," and it's the cutest thing ever. I couldn't figure out how to put that in here, but take my word for it.
Put it in right now.
Good. I did it.
There it is. If you didn't do it, I'm coming to your house.
Yeah. He wasn't in Final Wars, but this is his more modern design. And once again, he gets chunky.
Yeah, that looks fine.
Everybody likes him. So he's a good boy.
Yeah.
He does kind of like give you like a very large dog vibe.
Yeah. He moves his ears a lot.
As he should.
Yeah. All right.
Sold.
This guy is not in Destroy All Monsters. I forgot to mention we were done with those. This he just kind of beats the piss out of Manila the whole movie.
Thunder punch.
He just kind of punches the child the whole time.
I want to be him. He's my hero.
I genuinely forget his name. What even is his name?
Don't tell me his name. I want him to stay nameless.
Okay.
I want to know him forever as the hero.
All right. Well, here's the thing. We're going to go back to Destroy All Monsters real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something that'll make you more happy about that gift, but more angry about real life.
Yeah.
All right. So this all ends where he just beats the crap out of Ghidorah.
Aw.
Because, like, Ghidorah's a problem. So they all just gang up on him.
Okay.
And he does his best, but it's like 12 guys versus him.
Yeah.
So it's like, fair enough. But technically, Manila here shoots a ring of smoke that goes around and strangles Ghidorah's last head and technically gets the killing blow on the original Ghidorah.
That's dumb. I hate it. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you deserve.
So this movie, I have to describe this movie now. So there's this little boy in Japan who gets bullied all the time, and he gets kidnapped by these two pedophiles, and they're gonna murder him. And then he just hallucinates that he's in Godzilla, and Manila shrinks down and talks to him in a voice where he goes, "Godzilla says I gotta fight my own battles, you know." And then he escapes the pedophiles. And that's the movie.
So is the cat face monster supposed to be a pedophile?
He's the pedophiles and the bullies that he gets bullied from because he likes Godzilla and gets bullied a lot. Look, I'm not saying I relate to anything, but
You wake up one day and you see this guy at the foot of your bed. What do you do? He's winding up a punch right now.
doing his big slow wind up. I guess I just accept my fate just like that. I just fall over and do the Family Guy death pose.
I do find it interesting, like his horn actually glows like right before he punches him.
He just pulsates with electrical sexual energy the whole movie. It's weird. Probably because he's a pedophile. I wrote down in my notes that I don't even remember his name. I didn't write down his name. I just wrote down I don't remember it.
Good. So even if you knew, you couldn't tell us.
You set a reminder that you forgot.
All right. Now, I can't say it'll get worse, but it's gonna go in him.
Okay.
That's
So
This
is this the tie-in with Dark Souls 2?
no, okay. You know the enemies in Dark Souls 3 where you hit them and they turn into the big thing?
Yeah.
That's this guy.
Okay.
This is Hedorah, aka the Smog Monster.
Okay. Was this when
Big
they
ol'
wanted to do an environmentalist thing?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, actually.
Well, you said smog, and I was like, yeah, I know.
So this movie's weird.
I can imagine.
He's literally a
No,
monster.
you can't. This part where this guy goes into a bar and everybody's face turns into fish.
It's the guy with the red face.
He's pogging. He's Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, Pog.
The Pog Monster.
And then like there's this part where it just turns into a 2D animated movie for a bit.
What?
And like he's like eating buildings and stuff. And there's this one part where he like flies over people and turns them into bones. And there, like before this part, there's like this part where it just like cuts to like a documentary on galaxies, and you have this guy narrating and giving you fun facts about science.
Okay.
And there's this one part where after a bit, it just cuts to a building, and in just silence, you watch it collapse.
That's so weird.
And Godzilla fights him and just gets covered in.
Don't say that word.
Covered in goo.
That doesn't make it better.
And he's just. It's something. And then he just finds these two orbs in Hedorah.
What's good?
And. Oh, sup, Nico?
We're
We're
talking
looking
about.
at Godzilla monsters.
Oh, that's nice.
This is the podcast where we show Connor all the Godzilla monsters. I'm in the middle of the weirdest one.
That's not too weird. Not any weirder than I've seen, to be honest.
They walk in and they're all fish people heads. But I'm not actually sure what these orbs are supposed to be. I'm not sure if they're his eyeballs or if they're his internal orb organs. He just holds them like that and electrocutes them. Also, this happens.
There it is. I've been wondering where this gif was gonna come up.
Okay.
There he goes.
That's how blimps
And-
work.
That's how Godzilla gets around.
And I want to point out that the guy who made this movie loves Hedorah.
Really?
Absolutely loves him.
In what way? What are we getting at?
He wanted this whole Hedorah cinematic
Oh
universe.
God.
He wanted a sequel. He was going to make a ride. He was going to do the whole thing. The CEO, the head of Godzilla, saw this movie and banned him from ever making films again.
Oh my God. He got actually blacklisted for this?
Yes.
Wowee.
The guy saw it and said, "You're not allowed in my studio ever again."
He's like, get the fuck out.
Oh my
now."
God.
It's so good.
I
Rack
actually wanna-
shotgun.
I actually want to watch this just to see how
We
bizarre it is.
should. This one's. Don't worry, he doesn't appear in Final Wars.
Okay.
Good.
I lied, he does.
Ah,
That's a
Dude.
better design.
It's a really good design. He's in like 3 seconds.
That's actually a solid design.
It's really cool. The guy who wanted him in everything had a single tear as he smiles.
Do you think the guy who wanted him and everything liked this redesign?
Probably.
Okay.
I think he just wanted him to exist.
In real life.
He just wanted to have his true lover.
The dead fish tentacle monster waifu.
The best kind.
the Smog monster waifu.
Oh yeah, pollute that air, baby.
Give me lung cancer. Ugh.
Alright, so we're moving on from that one to what I actually consider probably my favorite. We got the one, the only, Gigan.
Aw, he's great.
He's awesome. He's got freaking hook hands, got buzzsaw chest. It's the best.
Does the buzzsaw spin?
Yes,
Okay.
he jumps into people with the buzzsaw going.
Tell me he does a hug and pulls you closer into his spinning buzzsaw.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's like Ghidorah's right-hand man, honestly.
Really?
Like him and Ghidorah, he's like the sidekick.
Okay, so he's pure evil then.
Oh, he's super evil.
Gotcha.
Like, you can tell by his face that he's just got like a maniacal joy in it. And he shows up a pretty good amount in the Showa era.
Okay.
He like shows up in a lot of like kind of crappy movies, but he's like the coolest guy.
Okay.
And then they didn't use him for a really long time until one person got the biggest glowing brain genius brain blast ever and created Final Wars Gigan.
That's awesome.
About to say
He's.
Ghidorah.
I was gonna, yeah.
Eh,
He's
looks
so
bad.
good.
very.
He's like so stylish.
Look at that swag.
I know, like he does all the poses after he slices a building in half.
That's like an actual Super Sentai monster.
He looks like a villain that you would fight in Devil May Cry.
Where is my model kit of that?
Dude, the SH Monster Arts one is so expensive.
Oh my god.
Makes me so mad. And here's the thing. Later in the movie, he quad wields chainsaws. It's actually awesome.
That's so
Mechagodzilla.
stupid.
Look at him.
It's so good.
Double chainsaws. Gee, Bill, how come your mom let you have 2 chainsaws per hand?
Like he does kung fu moves the whole time. In this one, he does the thing where he explodes behind him and he looks at the camera angry.
Which movie is this?
Final Wars.
Okay.
So they like waited to bring him back.
Gotcha.
And he's like the main villain. He's like one of the main villains of the movie.
I would
because they
imagine.
knew. How he dies in it also is he like slices Mothra and kills her, but then his blades come back and slice his head off, and he turns at the camera, and then it slowly falls off. It's so good.
So he just kills himself being an idiot?
Yeah.
Just being a cool idiot?
Yeah, basically. He is a platinum character.
Yeah.
He belongs in a platinum action game.
That's like a secret boss of Vanquish.
Yeah. Like he would be in Vanquish and Astral Chain at the same time.
Probably. Jeez.
All right. And to move on to one that I think you'll like this dude. Let me make sure his name. I believe I got it, but this Megalon.
Yeah, he's cool.
Okay.
He's a big beetle dude.
like
And
real hands.
he's Gigan's best buddy.
Oh, so he's super evil too.
Yeah. Well, the plot on this one is that there's a bunch of people that live underground, and people are testing bombs above their house. So they get butthurt and send a big beetle at them. When the people on the surface didn't know they existed, so you could have just asked. But they went straight to giant bug.
They could have hit the roof with the broomstick handle.
He is the broom.
They just threw a live grenade.
I like.
Yeah, he does the.
He like his rad pose.
Yeah.
His angry bug eyes.
He does a thing where he jumps up and puts his hands together and like dives into people while drilling. It's real good.
It's a Gurren Lagann enemy.
He is. He looks like a beast man.
Imagine Gurren Lagann having to fight this thing.
Well, you're not far off. Because
Show
the
me
real
show
star.
me his robot form. Do it.
No, the real star of the movie is the man. The man. Jet Jaga.
Oh,
Jet
hell yeah.
Jaga. His mother never really loved him.
Yeah.
It looks like an Ultraman.
Yeah. They had a contest for children to design a robot. And this guy won. And the kid didn't even like him. He's the best.
It looks like Reverse Moon Man.
He does. So Toho hates him.
Really?
Toho in Japan don't like him, but America loves him.
I wonder why. It's 'cause
So all the Japanese fans are like, why do you keep putting him in stuff? And they're like, America just likes him, okay?
he's great. Look at him.
I'm gonna sell you on it even harder.
It's like a Pepsi Man move.
It is.
Hell yeah.
Actual
goes.
infinite swag.
This is where Godzilla's drop kick comes from as well.
Okay.
I was about to say
He
it'll be
holds
the
Megalon while he does the drop kick.
Oh.
twice.
There he goes.
He does it again as well. And it's so good.
It's rad.
In France, he's King Kong.
Wait, they just call him King Kong?
They just say it's King Kong in his suit.
That might be the dumbest thing ever.
I
There's the
know.
French.
I want the Kong vs. Godzilla movie to be King Kong just puts on the armor.
He becomes a jet jaguar halfway through the movie.
Like, he gets beaten by Godzilla, but then he looks down and he sees the helmet. He's like, I know what I must become.
And there's like a 30-minute flashback of his father giving him this armor.
And just to bring it all home, the theme song has this acoustic guitar where this guy's like, Jet Jagger, Jet Jagger, punch, punch, punch. It's the best.
The most like turbo autist like Japanese rock.
Not even rock, just like acoustic, like he's being serenaded. And the rest of the movie is little Timmy hanging out with his two platonic friend dad and his very platonic friend.
His two dads.
Yeah, that build a third dad. It's great.
Every dad in the universe.
They form together
All
into one
all
giant
dads in
dad.
the universe form Jet Jaguar.
They have to do the fusion dance at the same time.
He's the first giant dad.
They just keep doing the fusion dance more and more with across every dad, and eventually you get this.
Hey, I'd commit to it. I'd want to see that.
The new anime that's coming out for Godzilla, the one where he's got dummy thick thighs. It seems like it's actually just going to be a Jet Jaguar anime.
Is he gonna be in it?
He's like seems to be the main character.
Oh my god.
And here's the thing. The model that they show, his legs end here.
Oh no.
It's like this design, but with legs that are this long.
He just doesn't have knees.
Doesn't have knees. So good. All right. Now, after the greatness, we move on to more greatness.
Ah,
Here.
that's
There
a
it
good
is.
design.
We get the man, the myth, the legend, Mechagodzilla. So, he's kind of the final of the Showa era. He's like the last enemy.
Yeah.
And they go out with a huge bang because he's awesome.
Well, they gotta.
Look at this. Makes a barrier with by spinning his head around enough. And his ultimate move is that he shoots lasers out of his everything.
Full armor Godzilla.
Yeah.
I love the 2D lightning that comes out.
Yeah. The big rainbow beam.
Because everything else looks fine, and then there's just the 2D lightning that's in one color.
And it's over all the smoke.
It's on the top layer.
Where's the lightning even coming out of?
His big chest beam.
There's something I really do miss about like early practical effects and how they just had a bunch of smoke and flares going off to hide it,
Yeah.
to make it look impressive.
They just had a bunch of like fireworks things happen near the actor.
Yeah.
I scared the bejesus out of him several times.
The guy in here is just like, oh god. Just pointing my hands. It's probably super hot in there.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, he beats the gosh darn crap out of Godzilla.
Oh, he's gotta.
Like he's tough.
Oh.
Like he might be stronger than Ghidorah.
That actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
Old practical effects, like just drawing over the frame, will always be better than the shit they come up with nowadays. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
It just feels so
It's really
so
charming.
full.
It's really, really charming.
Capital S soul.
And like this is kind of like this is the transition from like the sillier ones to like when they started getting like big budget stuff.
Okay.
Now then, King Seasader.
I actually like that.
So he helps fight Mechagodzilla. He's like a bonus.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, cool, Mechagodzilla. Oh, I got big bonus lion monkey. We got friggin' Rajang.
That kind of looks like a king lion,
Yeah, very much.
but with like floppy dog ears.
His ears are really they give him a lot of personality.
I didn't
He moves them a lot.
realize that like that guy's got more leg than most of the other Godzilla monsters.
Yeah.
There's something. He looks really different.
He really does. Like if you just like look at him next to them.
Godzilla his head is too big.
Yeah, still kind of Cookie Monster.
Yeah, a little bit.
But there's a bit to know about King Caesar.
Oh God.
Oh dear God, what the fuck is that?
That's him, and that's how he be. He's just sitting in his
Dude,
cave
look
all
at
day.
that smile. Oh
He-
my
He's
God.
happy.
He
He is
looks like a
coming for ya.
cockroach with a
Look,
smile.
That dude just got away with stealing the whole ass cookie jar.
Well, he so he sits in his cave all day, and they're like, "Oh God, Mechagodzilla just kick Godzilla ass. What do we got? What do we do? We gotta do something." I got it. We gotta get King Caesar. How do we get him? I know. We gotta sing for 20 minutes.
Tell
So
me,
they just have this.
it's actually 20 minutes of screen time.
It's like 5 minutes of this lady kneeling down singing.
Oh, that's great.
She's like, Caesar, Caesar. It's the King Caesar song, and he's like, "Yo, this is my jam."
She's just out
and-
singing in front of Kiryu's house.
She sings for like a half hour, and then he just explodes out of the mountain. He does a flip. He does a sick pose. He looks over. He sees Mechagodzilla. He runs up to him, gets his ass kicked for 20 minutes. He gets absolutely destroyed. He hits Mechagodzilla like twice and then just gets flinged. This is his body on the ground just getting punted.
He's just getting curb stomped.
Yes.
He has like the ultimate hype beast and just gets obliterated in 4
He
seconds.
just, there's this part where he shoots like 50 million missiles at him, and then afterwards King Caesar just peeks around the rubble. He's like, "Is he done?" And he looks really scared. And there's a part where Mechagodzilla turns his head around and starts shooting laser beams at King Caesar while fighting Godzilla.
So he's like the ultimate jobber.
He helps a bit, but it's really they hype him up so much, and he just gets destroyed.
Oh my God.
But in the end, him and Godzilla are buddies. He's like, "Hey, you're cool."
That's good. I'm happy.
And here he is in Final Wars.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what the? Oh, dude.
He looks a
he's
little
got
weird.
Titties.
He gets some man titties. Got a bit of a gut too.
Is that supposed to be a he?
It's a he. He's king.
I don't know, man. That's like going by the Egyptian term of king.
Oh no.
If you know what I mean.
So look at those
He's-
giant ears.
Yeah. He's got big like puppy dog ears. They flop around.
I was gonna say bat ears, but then I probably shouldn't say that.
They're kind of bat-like.
But-
There's, you know how I said Anguirus rolls up in a ball?
Yeah.
He rolls up to a ball, jumps up, and King Caesar kicks him at Godzilla. Like a big soccer ball.
Yeah.
It's real good. Alright, and then Mechagodzilla did really well, so they made Mechagodzilla 2.
That one
Like
looks.
Mechagodzilla poo.
He's got a little 2 written right there. Other than that, it's the exact same thing.
I like him still.
He's still awesome. I don't got a picture of it, but how they killed him in the original one is they tore his head off,
Yeah.
and in this one, Godzilla tears his head off, and he just keeps fighting.
Oh.
He just gets it's got like a light underneath that still works.
So they just made him immune to dying to the thing that killed him before.
Yeah, it's real good. I think Godzilla literally just goes like, "Oh God!" It's great. He gets a partner in crime. We got Titanosaurus.
Oh, that actually looks really nice.
He's cool. He did nothing wrong.
Really?
He was just minding his own business. He was like a normal just sea dinosaur that they just mind controlled the whole time.
Huh.
He probably didn't even want to fight.
He really didn't. He was so peaceful. I feel really bad for him because he got beat up a lot.
He looks really cool, though.
He's real good. I like him.
Oh, that's good.
Once again, the comic is awesome.
That looks like a Western comic, is it?
It is.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's made by, it's like Frank something, I forget his name, but it's one specific guy that does a lot of Godzilla art, and it's really good.
Gotcha.
By the way, Mechagodzilla is controlled by monkeys.
Oh my god, it's a monkey.
There's just these alien monkeys that they just want everyone to return to monkeys. They make Mechagodzilla.
This guy's the director of the new Kong movie.
There's a clear bias.
Wasn't there a movie that had Mechagodzilla where human beings actually built Mechagodzilla to stop Godzilla?
There's 2 more times Mechagodzilla comes back, and I'll get to those ones because they're more separate.
That stinks.
And to go back to the original, all of this is still canon to the same timeline.
Yes, this is all the same timeline. Technically, Destroy All Monsters is the last one, but this is the last one before that.
Okay.
This is the last one released, but like chronologically, this is the last one before Destroy All Monsters.
Who wrote this? Hideo Kojima?
Yes, definitely. I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of Metal Gear they reveal that it's all ape monkeys.
Well, 8 monkeys and you have to fight a Metal Gear that looks like a Mechagodzilla.
No, you fight a Metal Gear that looks like you. And then you gotta sing to get King Caesar. Alright, so that ends the Showa era. And next up is what's called the Heisei Era. I don't got a picture. I was gonna get a picture of it, but I forgot.
The picture of the whole era?
Of like one of the like main things of it.
Okay.
Because for the most part, they kind of repeat monsters. Like it's like Mothra and King Ghidorah. They do that.
It's kind of a retread.
Yeah. Because like now they got all these good effects, and I think you're gonna like their first original one though. So we got. Oh wait, I did remember to get the picture.
Oh, that looks really
That's
good.
what. That's how the posters start looking.
That's really good.
And I should have segued into this, but this was made by the Metal Gear artist.
Not shocked.
Really?
Yep.
It looks
That's a
like him.
That's a very different style.
Well, it's one of the Metal Gear artists. I don't think it's the exact one that you're thinking of, like that sort of.
It's not the watercolor guy. It's
Okay.
obviously not. Like
I think it's a woman. I forget, but it's
the one that
he or she.
does
I forget.
the watercolors.
Yeah, Nico, if you want to look it up, because
Yeah, sure.
this person did like
Seeing
all
as,
the.
you know, I crashed the show anyway. I might as well make myself useful.
That's all good. I'll add your little skeleton in the. This is all being recorded, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. your address is being leaked right now.
Yes, I live at 123 help. They have me kidnapped in the basement. My phone number is 44 help, please. God, they have me.
Anyway, moving on. To the first original kaiju, we got Biollante.
Oh.
Yeah. The plant
What was that
monster.
image called, by the way?
Just search Godzilla Heisei Era poster, and you should probably get it.
Okay.
Don't ask how to spell Heisei. We all know, but we're not telling you. Also,
Just spell it wrong 3 times, and you'll get it.
Also, that thing looks rad.
It's so cool.
She's a giant
Oh, that's
plant
an even
monster.
better image.
I know. Yeah, I wanted to get one from the movie, but the movie is shot in like 3 resolution.
Okay. That thing looks cool.
And she's big.
Oh my god.
She's also like her story is that they got Godzilla DNA and they were like, oh my god, this is regenerate stuff. We can regrow plants and stuff. I wonder if I can regrow my dead daughter. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Big monster.
And is that his daughter?
Yeah. Turned into Big Monstar.
Big plant Godzilla thing?
Yeah.
Biollante.
But yeah. They tend to like to put Biollante in any like spin-off thing that they can because she's really unique and cool.
Yeah. I don't blame them. I want to see like monsters like this in the big budget Hollywood movies now.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
It's one of those things that like I hope they make a proper good Godzilla game at some point.
probably a
Okay,
question
I
better
have the
asked.
name. It is
you get the name?
Noriyoshi Orai.
Yeah, that's it.
I
Rad
was gonna
lad.
say, this is a question better served for after we're done looking at all this, but what would be your ideal Godzilla game? Like, what style of game would it be?
Probably like the Pipeworks ones and the what's the monster game that you have, Nico, that you really like?
Monster game?
Yeah, the one it's
Oh,
like
War of the
War of the
Monsters?
Monsters. Yeah, it's like that kind of game, but like with like the Pipeworks kind of stuff. It's
Okay.
a big cool brawler,
Yeah, that's probably how you do it.
or just a proper 2D fighting game that has them all doing really cool things.
Literally just buy Insomniac
Yeah.
and have them remake it. Just be like, you work for me now. Guess what?
They can't be
Make
worth
Arc
much.
Make Arc Systems make a Godzilla fighting game.
Now that's asking for too much. You're,
I want to see Arc Syst animate this.
you know they would.
They would do so good.
Also, I just love filling a monster's mouth with too many teeth.
Yeah. Oh, I love it so much.
I
It's
mean, we know
always
she doesn't
good.
need to eat.
That's true. She also has a rose where she's like a form that she's a giant rose, but I didn't include it because I like this one better.
Okay.
And so after that, we get to the big grand return, even though it kind of technically wasn't gone too long. We're bringing Mechagodzilla back. He's bigger, he's better, he looks kind of retarded.
I kind of still like him.
He's not bad, but his face is real dopey.
I don't know. His face isn't that bad. He
Looks like he's got big fat cheeks.
a little bit. He's lost the ribbed metal on the joints. It looks a bit more futuristic now.
Yeah.
Or
He's a lot less mean looking than the original.
yeah.
And to answer your question, Nico, this is the one that's the humans made this. He's like a proper mecha,
Alright, that's better.
and he's a pretty big badass actually. He almost kills Godzilla.
Okay, so he's evil too.
Well, Godzilla's kind of being an asshole, and humans make him to stop him from being an asshole.
And then he goes too far.
No, Godzilla just kind of kills him.
Oh, fair enough.
By the way, that's Godzilla's current design. You can see it looking actually really good.
Yeah, that one looks fine.
And to make me kind of angry that he looks like this is how the poster looks, and I forgot to center it. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Also, you can see Rodin's in this one.
Uh-huh.
And it's still godlike poster.
Yeah, there's something about him with like just the teeth, the way the teeth look on that.
Mm-hmm. He was also originally a combiner robot.
Oh.
He was going to be 3 things that combined into him.
Which you can actually kind of like see in the poster.
Yeah, like there's going to be this one, and this one. Now he's just this guy. And technically, this is Super Mechagodzilla because he's got a big old backpack that shoots laser beams.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Yeah, he's from a really good movie. I'm not huge on this design.
Okay.
I forget, is it
But
this one or is the last one that's built around the original?
We'll get to that. It's the next one. It's the next
Gotcha.
one. No spoilers.
Sorry.
Because especially now we got Space Godzilla.
He looks
Oh,
silly.
goodness. He's got some World of Warcraft shoulders going on.
Yeah.
He's a Warhammer character.
He's a raid boss.
I really like him.
Yeah.
He's really cool.
Space Godzilla.
Partially because he's a big, huge asshole. Like, he kidnaps little Godzilla and, like, holds him hostage. And then, like, creates a big city out of crystals. And, like, basically, like, taunts Godzilla, like, come get him.
That's scary.
He's, like, genuinely an asshole.
Imagine your stupid, ugly son is kidnapped by just a bigger...
Not the ugly son, the good son.
Oh, that's no good.
Imagine if your good son was kidnapped. And all you're left with is the ugly one.
Remember, the ugly one got punched by a pedophile.
These movies are great. I haven't even
And
seen any of them.
And once again, this is the poster.
That's pretty good.
It's really good. You can see little Godzilla. Look at him.
You can see little Mothra too.
Oh, I forgot Mothra's in this one. Yeah. Yeah. Space Godzilla's cool. In the Destroyer, the Rulers of Earth comic, they have like a really intense rivalry, and I like it.
Okay.
And they have to work together at one point, but you can tell they hate it. And real quick, he's also on this poster. We got this guy. He was built off of Mechagodzilla.
Okay.
What the heck is his name? Funny. He's like Mothra or something. Yeah, Mothra.
So it's
Is he
like them.
actually Mog Godzilla or?
No, he just flies around and kind of gets his ass kicked.
Oh, so he doesn't even do what he's designed for. I mean,
No.
granted that slang didn't exist back then, but we're not gonna talk about that.
This is made in a more pure era.
Yeah, we're just gonna
He's
skirt
essentially-
around that subject.
He's essentially the jobber of the movie.
Yeah. He helps out a little bit.
I like his
Yes.
face.
Yeah. You kind of get another angle. Oh, not really. He's a little drill dude.
I feel like they just edited that image onto the poster. It looks the exact same.
He does.
He looks super stiff.
Oh, he's super. You can tell it's like barely any movement.
There's like
He looks like a toy that does not have much articulation.
Yeah, no. They designed it to be a toy.
Yeah, to be a cheap toy that you can put in things.
Yeah.
Now there's one more of the Heisei Era. The Heisei Era is also one continuous continuity that flows pretty well, actually.
That's separate from the other one.
Yes, it's like the original movie is canon to both, but it's like a branch.
Okay.
And now we're entering in the Millennium Era, where Godzilla looks real spiky.
That looks really good.
I really like him.
Godzilla 2000.
2000,
The
which is such a 2000s thing to do.
the far future of 2000. Y2K Godzilla.
I don't know why 2K. But I'll mention the Millennium one. It's basically all like that kind of reboot where the original is canon, but this is a new interpretation.
Okay.
And so like they kind of do a lot of really experimental things.
Uh-huh.
And his first new rival, which they kind of save him for like the very end of the movie, is Orga.
That looks pretty good.
He's real cool. He's only like this for a little bit. Throughout the rest, he's like a big UFO. And then he turns into like a weird blobulous thing. And then he absorbs Godzilla's DNA and becomes Big Handy Man.
He kind of looks like the thing from How to Kill a Monster.
From what?
From the Goosebumps episode.
Oh yeah! The one that dies from like baked beans or something.
The one that has a super realistic death scene of it choking to death on beans.
This guy's gonna scar you for life.
Yeah.
You know what? Then he's gonna vor you.
Oh my god.
I was just thinking, he does do that.
Yeah. It's a really bad idea because the end he's stuck in is the one that shoots fire.
And also, look how spiky he is.
He starts getting these as he absorbs Godzilla's like stuff.
Okay.
And then Godzilla, yeah, kind of designed to not have that happen.
That's like chomping down on a porcupine. Like, don't do that.
It was a really bad idea, all things considered. All right, and then the next guy I think you're really gonna like. It's actually technically a Rodin enemy. It was one of the bad guys from the Rodin movie, and he looks like this.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That looks great.
It's like a
It's
dragonfly.
Megaguirus. Yeah, it's a big evil dragonfly dude. I love him.
It's a dragonfly with a dragon head.
Yeah, basically.
That's cool.
He's really unique. A lot of people kind of forget about him, but I think he's rad.
Yeah.
He's also part of the best GIF. I love his reaction.
It's just to stand there.
No, I love his facial reaction of just what? Wait, this is happening?
I gotta say, so far this Godzilla series looks really good.
They have really good effects. This is also the one that has that young Ghidorah one.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if there were any other ones, because like this one had a lot of like kind of wacky things.
Okay.
And to elevate that even further, you're really gonna like this one.
Oh boy.
Because we got Kiryu. I mean Kiryu.
There it is. There he is.
You really wanted to make that joke.
I did.
That is actually a really cool design.
It's the best.
It might be my favorite of the Mechagodzilla.
He is absolutely my favorite Mechagodzilla.
He's like the best one.
That thing's awesome.
And remember how I said the original Godzilla was killed and turned into bones?
Yeah.
They got the bones and built a big robot around it.
So it's like that's just your grandpa Godzilla.
Yeah. And the bones like reawaken and like take control.
The evil dark anger of the bones.
And when it does that, his eyes glow red.
There's just so much pure hatred in Godzilla's bones.
Yeah. And so it's like technically this is the original Godzilla now. And he looks sick.
Wowee.
And so they stopped doing the Aura posters. But somehow it got even better.
That's an actual like title drop for a
It's
Yakuza
so
fight.
good. Yeah. He's doing the jump to just punch him. It's so good.
Don't mess around with Mechagodzilla.
And he's so like actual action and cool.
Oh yes, by the way, he has wrist blades.
He's got the wrist blades. And he just gets in and like does the hand-to-hand combat.
I'll say
It's so good.
It's still no quad chainsaw.
There's no quad chainsaw, but we're getting the quad chainsaw. Well, we're getting to when that was Gigan's thing.
Okay.
This is the prototype for quad chainsaw. And they like this guy got 2 movies, just like the original.
Okay.
And I forget the pilot's name, but he's also like technically a mecha that has a pilot and everything.
Although
Okay.
She doesn't actually like go in there. She like flies a plane around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
But like she has to go in him a few times to like fix him.
And then occasionally she has to fight for control because old man Godzilla wants to take
Yeah.
the wreck down.
Old grumpy Godzilla's mad.
Old nuclear Godzilla.
By the way, this little red right here,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be the blood rolling down his tears. He's so angry and mad. It's so good. By the way, this is the model kit for him.
Oh my god. Don't
It's like
tempt me.
$200. I'm mad.
Don't even tempt me. Oh my god.
It's so
Wondering
good.
how long it takes you to build a normal one.
And his name is Kiryu throughout the whole thing. So the joke earlier was very appropriate.
Yeah.
Also, his ultimate weapon is like his chest will open up and fire like a huge ice beam.
Yeah, it's like the absolute zero blast.
Absolute zero cannon.
It's sick.
That's awesome.
And there's one time where like he's about to fire it, but Godzilla manages to knock him over, and he gets like flown backwards and shoots it, and it just annihilates like half the city. And like he's got like jetpack stuff, so he like jetpacks around, like shoulder checks Godzilla. He's so good.
He's the best.
So far, I think Ghidorah might be dethroned.
Like Kiryu specifically is like, it's like Kiryu, Ghidorah, and Final Wars Gigan are like the trilogy of like Kino.
Of course, it would be Kiryu.
Yeah.
I knew this was coming, and I knew the name, and
Yeah.
I knew you'd make a joke.
Oh, good. I'm predictable, but hey, it worked out.
Only predictable to me because I knew ahead of time.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna hope that I did put the poster in here. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. So.
Okay.
This is Final Wars. This is the thing for it.
That is a mess.
There's a lot. So just so you know, half of the movie is monsters fighting. The other half is people doing kung fu action.
Oh, so it's like fully watchable.
It is like all insanity all the time.
Is it good choreographed people fighting?
It's like Kamen Rider.
Okay, so it is good.
So where they're like flipping around and doing stuff, and this guy is just Neo from the Matrix.
I need to track this movie down.
And they're like doing stuff on like motorcycles and like flying around and kicking the motorcycles.
God, I want to watch this.
And then it cuts to Godzilla and he like throws Mothra at someone.
And then he jumps off a motorcycle.
No, Gigan's on the motorcycle.
He would be.
He really looks like it. And Final Wars does technically introduce one new monster. Monster X.
That is a Super Sentai villain.
It is a Super Sentai villain. He does kung fu. Go ahead.
That looks like a modern day redesign of a Morrowind armor set.
Looks good though.
It looks like high level bone mold.
Here's the thing though. I lied. He's actually King Ghidorah. No, Kaiser Ghidorah.
That's pretty good. That's solid.
I put the concept art here to get the full shot of him, because that's what he looks like in the movie.
Yeah.
You can see the strings.
Yeah. Well, I think he always looks kind of dumb when you see him from the side.
Oh, because you can tell they're in the anthro.
He looks like that horse at the end of the SpongeBob episode. When the gorilla shows up and he's like, Jerry, they're onto us, and then he rides away on that horse.
It looks like the full size like quadruped My Little Pony cosplays.
Yeah. But he's Kaiser Ghidorah.
Kaiser.
It's so good.
Tell me.
And the big final. Go ahead.
Tell me they pronounce it that way in the Japanese.
I've never heard the Japanese dub, but I'm pretty sure they do.
They say Kaiser.
Kaiser.
Kaiser Ghidorah.
The big final battle is in this whole area with Monster X and Gigan versus Godzilla and Mothra. And the two sidekicks die, and then you think they beat him, and then he reveals himself to be this. And then this guy starts kicking Godzilla's ass, and then I'm pretty sure it's just like Godzilla thinks of all of the different monsters throughout the whole series, and then he explodes off of him, grabs Ghidorah, literally does the so long Gay Bowser, throws him into the sky, and he does a spin, and then he shoots his laser beam and explodes him.
It's so dumb. I love it.
It's great. All right.
It couldn't be
So
dumber.
I skipped one.
Yeah.
Because this is the one. So at the end of the Heisei series, which is the longest like actual continuous proper narrative.
Yeah.
Godzilla's not feeling so good.
Okay.
This is him like melting down.
Okay.
He's like super powered up, but he's also dying.
I'm imagining that's more commentary.
Yeah. And way back when that oxygen destroyer killed the first Godzilla, it started doing some stuff. And so these weird crab monsters started hanging out in alleys and stuff.
Okay.
And they're like killing people, and they look like xenomorphs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they start working their way up. And they start becoming a problem. And then they become Desodroya!
Oh my.
That looks good.
He kills Godzilla.
Ouch.
Really?
Like, he is the guy for Godzilla.
So does that mean this guy is stronger than Ghidorah?
Probably, yeah.
Jeez.
Because, like, at least in this continuity, definitely. Because he is, like, the devil. And he is, like, the bona fide final boss of Godzilla.
That's pretty good. He looks like Manaroth from Warcraft. A little bit.
He does have, like, a Warcraft look to him, don't he?
Yeah. That's my autism setting, and continue, ignore me. I'm still thinking about Kiryu.
So just the name Desodroya.
Desodroya. You have to say it like that. It's not destroyer.
Desodroya.
Desodroya! And if the MonsterVerse, if they're able to pull through and keep making the movies, I think what everybody wants is after Godzilla vs. Kong, you do a Gamera movie, then an Ultraman movie, and then you finish it off where they all fight Desodroya.
I do not think a Western studio could handle Ultraman.
I want it though, shut up.
I'm gonna say right now.
That's in the fantasy land where it's perfect.
That's in the fantasy brain dimension where nothing can go wrong.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the chest does something.
It's only in deleted scenes, but it actually shoots like a really powerful beam that like kills everyone. It like blows off half of Godzilla's tail.
That's like half of his body.
And in the proper ending for it, what happens is Godzilla is melting down. So as they're like in their final scraps, Godzilla knows he's dying. So he grabs onto him and just melts down on him. And so he takes him with him. And it's really good.
That does sound
This is the poster.
Oh, that's real good.
And he really kills Godzilla's son, like real bad.
The good son and not the ugly one?
The good son. You can see his son here is like he's like a little little Godzilla.
He's evaporating.
And he kills him real bad, and Godzilla, in his final act, as they're all cooling him down so he doesn't blow up and destroy the Earth, he gives all of his energy to his son, and his son turns into like a proper full adult Godzilla.
Okay, and then he becomes the protagonist for the next 4 movies?
He becomes the protagonist. They never technically made a movie starring him, but everybody, even though it doesn't make sense, everybody forces the headcanon correctly that he's the Godzilla from Final Wars.
Okay.
And that's my headcanon, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Oh, as far as I know, that is the canon.
I'm just going to tell you it's canon because you've not seen Godzilla, so I can manipulate your opinions.
Yeah. I am a completely blank slate. You can fill my head with as much evil as you want.
Like this Desodroya right here. But yes, that's all Godzilla.
That's all of it?
That's all the boys.
That's every last one, huh?
There's quite a few of them, aren't there?
I guess so, huh?
So give me a rundown on some thoughts.
Kind of Kiryu's up at the top right now.
Yeah.
It might take me a while to remember a lot of the names for the rest of them, but I do know which ones are my favorites, definitely.
Yep.
And
am I wrong?
I definitely, yeah. You.
I will say there's a few I've seen that I know we have not, that were not shown.
Did I forget some?
There's like the evil Mothra.
Yeah, I figured I'd mention that one, but it's just I mainly wanted to put Megaguirus in there.
That's fair. I'm sure there's more.
And there's
like,
160 slides, so
That's fair. There's more than enough.
I'm probably underestimating exactly how many movies there are, but I do kind of want to watch them all in like in a proper chronological timeline, like optimal timeline.
Oh, it'd be something else.
Yeah.
We'd fast forward through a lot of people going, "Oh my God, Godzilla."
I mean, that would probably cut off like 20 hours, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't be too bad. Just like edit it down to the
Godzilla, but all
essentials,
the good parts.
and then like have a good solid like 30-hour chunk that we can just chip away at.
That'd be doable.
Yeah. Someone has to have done it already somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure there's like monster only cuts of a lot of them.
Yeah.
But if I'm guessing, the top boys for you are Ghidorah, Kiryu, and Final Wars Gigan.
Probably, yeah. And then what was the plant Godzilla monster thing?
Biollante.
That one's pretty up there too.
I'll say that shockingly, Biollante is playable in a lot of the games.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like it can move.
They just say shut up, it moves.
Okay, fair enough.
It just kind of like shuffles forward.
It just phalanxes around.
Pretty much.
Just like, yeah, it probably just has tentacles on the bottom. Shut up.
We just woobly flooblies.
We made it. We can tell you how it works.
And yeah, it's a whole bunch of these, and there's a lot more details and a lot more silly moments and all kinds of stuff that I glossed over, but it's a good old franchise.
Yeah.
To be fair, going into too much detail would have made this run down a few more hours.
Yep. It's already a long one.
Oh boy.
All right. And we're going to end it off, and I'm going to play Big Godzilla Roar and probably something stupid. Go!